Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruth. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you step by step how to draft a stylish blazer gown with a shawl collar, side pleats and zip at the back. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video and leave a comment if you found it helpful. Your support helps me bring more sewing tutorials your way. Let's get started. So the first thing I'll do is to mark out 5 inches at the upper part, then 5 inches by the side. So this will serve as we'll be using it for our collar and the double breasted jacket. So you'll be needing this allowance. So I'll go ahead and roll it. So the next thing I'll do is to go ahead and mark out my draft my basic bodice for the gown. So the first thing I'll do is to mark my chest line, my bust point, my half length and the full length of my gown. Then I'll mark it out. So from my waistline, I'll go down by 9 inches for our hip line. After that, from the shoulder, I'll go ahead and mark out my bust point and roll it out. Then I'll label it out, my chest line, bust point, my half length, that's my hip line, and the full length of this gown. So I'll go ahead and mark out my shoulder. I'll divide it into two. I'll mark it on the shoulder line and on the chest line. So after that, I'll go ahead and mark out my neckline. I'll be using 3 by 3 and I'll go ahead and slant my shoulder with 1 inch. You can decide to still use 1.5 for the front. Go ahead and mark. I use 3 by 3.5 for the front part. Then I'll go ahead and roll it out. So after connecting my neckline, I'll go ahead and mark out my dart. So for us to mark out our dart, I'll divide my bust part measurement into that's my nipple to nipple measurement. I'll divide it into two. I'll mark it on my bust point, my waistline and on my hip line. So for the hip line, you just go up by 2 inches, then you now mark. So after marking, I'll now go ahead and connect my point together. So for my dart intake, I'll go ahead and mark out 0.5 inches on both sides. So you can also use 0.75 if if your client is bigger than the measurement that I'm using. So I'm using 0.5 for this person that I'm making this dress for. After that, I go ahead and divide my shoulder into two, then go in by 0.5 inches, then I'll connect. So after connecting, since I'll be using the princess dart line for this gown, so I'll now connect it like this. So after that, I'll go ahead and mark out my measurement. I'll divide my bust into 4. What I have there is 40. I'll divide it into 4 and half 10. Then on my waistline, I'll still go ahead and divide it, whatever I have, into 4. I'll mark. Then replace my dart intake 1 inch. Then I'll go to my hip line, divide my hip into 4 and also mark. So since this guy will be having pleat, I'll just take the measurements down to the hemline. Whatever I have on the hip line, I'll just measure it down. Then I'll go ahead and connect. So after I was done with that, the next thing, so since we'll be cutting through this gown, I'll just go ahead and extend using my nipple to nipple measurement to the hemline since I'll be cutting it. So if you don't want to cut it, that is, you just want to sew your dart, then you can skip this process. So for this is where I'll be cutting it out because I'm working with a princess dart coat. So I'll now go ahead and extend that part so that after sewing, I will not have shortage. So after I was done with that, the next thing is to mark out my breaking point. This point is the point where your collar will fold. So once you have gotten that, so for mine here, I use my underbust measurement. So you can decide to use your half length. So some persons can also use their bust point. So just choose wherever you want to do it. So after connecting, I'll now go ahead and mark out the back side of this dress, because I'll be using the same pattern to cut out the back part. So after drafting, I use 3 by 1 inch for the back neckline. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and measure whatever I have. Hope you understand. Go ahead and measure whatever I have. That's what we are going to use to form our collar. I see. So carefully measure it. Then whatever you have, place it on that line and mark. So you can drop the back part of this gown if you want. Just I don't want this video to be too long. So that's why I did everything on one pattern. So after getting the measurement for the back neckline, you just mark it. Then you just place your ruler, slant your ruler. Don't mark it straight. So that way your collar will relax at the back of your neck. You understand? So just slant your ruler, then connect. So you determine the how wide you want your collar to be. Mine here I'll be using 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark the 3 inches. So you can use your ruler, you use your hand. So at this point you are free to do whatever design that you choose to do. So it might not be this pattern. So just check online for different inspiration. Just draw whatever you want, any design on this part. So remember I said I'll be using this same pattern to draft the back of this gown. So I'll go ahead and mark out my 1 inch for zip allowance. So that's the back part. So because there will be zip at the back of this gown. So I'll mark out that part, then I'll connect. So guys, after drafting this front, I noticed that the front part, the breasted part, will not give me what I actually wanted. So I'll be adjusting our measurement. So I use my nipple to nipple measurement to mark out how wide I want the double breasted to be. Hope you understand. So initially I use about 4 inches, I think no, about 5 inches for that. So it won't give me what I want, because I want all the parts to align with my nipple to nipple measurement. So I'll be adjusting it as you're seeing me doing on the video. So after doing that adjustment, I reconnected, then I'll go ahead and mark out the pleat part. So at this point you can work with any design that you want. You can make it straight, slant, you can make it a curve. So from the waistline I came down by about 3.5, then I connected it 2 inches before the hip line. So this will give me that slant curve by the side. I see. Then I'll go ahead and connect it like this. So this is it. So after that, for those pleats, you can decide to work with gather, but for this tutorial I'll be doing pleats. So I'll just go ahead and mark out the pleats for you to see how it looks like. So I'll just be using about 1 inch to 1.25 inches to connect that sorry our pleats, to show you how it's going to look like. So this is it after we are done connecting. So just go ahead and use marker to bring out the line so you see it clearly. So that's the front part. So this is it after you're done drafting. So since I use the same pattern for the front and the back, I'll just go ahead and cut out the front pattern first. After cutting out the front pattern, before I will now cut out the back part. Hope you understand. I don't want to draft a separate video tutorial for the back part, so the video will not be too long. I just hope you understand what we just did here. So I'll just go ahead and cut out my pattern. If you have watched this video to this point, please kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you'll always be updated when we post a new tutorial. So this is uh double breasted gown. So just fix your button here. Hope you find this tutorial helpful. So I'll show you now, after cutting, how to get your pleats. Remember, we are not doing straight together on it, so we'll be making pleats. So watch and see how I'll get it. So for you to get your pleats, after cutting out your pattern, the part that you'll be adding pleats to it, just cut it out, measure whatever you have, like into two, then fold your fabric on fold. Let your fabric be on fold. Then you place it times two of whatever you have. So after making the pleat, you now place it and cut